Hello, Freedom Guy 55 here again. I just wanted to actually, I had just seen Kung Fu Panda 2, and I thought that I just want to actually give this kind of movie review on it. It is, to me, I actually found it to be much superior than the original film. Within special effect, or not only within special effects or whatnot, but the interesting thing is that it's actually much better within the process of character development. I was actually so surprised that when we wind up going on, I mean, in the beginning, it doesn't start out that way. It kind of starts out the same way as a regular DreamWorks picture does, a usual type of comedy, and then some sort of like gags and such. But as the story develops and we get it more into Poe's past and finding out that he's adopted, of course, and whatnot, the one thing that's interesting is that as we see and as we develop and as this develops, we do actually see much more of a kind of I guess emotional interaction between certain particular types of characters. But it kind of happens much into the process of later into the film, not as it kind of just gradually comes into play, not giving us like in Pixar, you're kind of almost emotionally invested mostly into the particular kind of characters for most of the film. While in DreamWorks, you don't really get too emotionally invested into these characters. But the one thing is, of how Kung Fu Panda 2 did it, they did it very well in gradually developing that. It starts out as a regular DreamWorks picture, and then it develops into this kind of very, in some ways, emotional level that you actually really seem to have a tendency to care for Poe now. I mean, really care much more for him. I mean, when he winds up finding his kind of inner peace or whatnot, to learn his past and learn what happened to him in his past, I really felt for this character a lot more than I did in the original film, and I was surprised. I also felt for the character of Tigress when they kind of had an interaction, and you actually saw the kind of friendship between her and him. So I thought that was actually really good too. And then the touching, and then at the end where he winds up seeing his adopted father again, and there's actually a very good touching sequence at that point as well. And good thing on the ending where you actually set it up for a sequel too. It's just funny. But this is actually an interesting thing, because this is where I say that DreamWorks is kind of on the right track of really getting their character, getting the audience to really care emotionally for their characters. And if they continue on this path, they're not as good as Pixar yet, but if they continue on this path, it will be actually very good. There are some certain particular kind of negative points to this. I thought that there were certain particular kind of the comedy in it was a little bit repetitive, or at least more repetitive than the original Kung Fu Panda. But I don't think you really care much, because you're still laughing anyway. At least I was still laughing anyway. I mean, so I think you would too, but no, maybe not. Also, I thought that some of the particular the last sequence at the end was really kind of predictable. You kind of knew what he was going to do, but at the same time you kind of went and said, you know what, I want to see what happens. I want to see this development. How is he going to do this, and how it develops, and how this particular kind of thing develops. So even though that it may have been predictable, you still actually wanted to see what would happen. So in some ways, I actually do think, in most cases, this movie, Kung Fu Panda 2, is pretty superior than the original film. But anyway, I don't know what you thought and whatnot, but that's what I think about this film. And I really have to give this a kind of, thumbs up. I mean, this is good. This is a good film. It's good family entertainment. And I guess I don't know how to end this, so I'm just going to say, like the poster did, Skatoosh. And I thank you for your time, and have a nice day.